I've done a good job this month of keeping to my schedule. During the week, I work on this project after work. It's only an hour or so at night, but I can get a good 4 or 5 hours in the week this way without stressing myself out. On the weekends, I work on a game project. It's an escape the room by way of Alone in the Dark. That won't be ready to show for a while, but I do plan to show it on the channel in the future. For now, I've got good news. I made a mod. After the last video, I went through the error logs and saw that I was getting missing texture, the default resources /images /UI /missing texture.png. Well, we should be looking for test mod resources, not the default resources. So I guess I didn't fix the texture loader correctly. This error logged a couple thousand times because it became recursive. Because it couldn't find the desired texture, it calls the texture loader for the missing texture graphic, which it then can't find and calls it again. After fixing this, however, I still couldn't get the relic to load. The images couldn't be loaded and the game crashed. I did some searching on the Discord modding channel, and it looked like it was probably an issue with the way relic strings were being loaded. In other words, unsuccessfully. Well, where am I loading the strings? Looking at my receive edit strings function, oh, it's empty. Well, that's a problem. I went ahead and copied the default's receive edit strings function and commented out the stuff I'm not using right now, renaming the file paths as I went. Loading the strings still doesn't fix it. I'm back to the point I failed at before. Let's set the relic aside and try working on a card instead. I removed the loading of the relic from the main class and verified that the mod now compiles and runs. Okay, good. Let's grab some stuff from the default. I created a test attack card and copied over the default common attack class into it. Again, I went through and refactored the class to my project. This involved adding several new helper functions, like make card image path. We'll need some resources to go with this. Let's download the card art for this card and create a cardstring.json file in our language folder. This is a lot easier to read than the relic string, and if we screw this up, the card should still load. Let's implement receive edit cards and add our card. Make sure to import the card strings in receive edit strings. I didn't at first. Package the project and run the game. I started a new run with the ironclad and opened the console with the grave key. This is also called the tilde key, but I like to refer to it as the grave key for the apostrophe-like symbol beneath the tilde. Anyway, open the console and type dec add testmod:/testattack1. You can use the tab to autocomplete based on the suggestions, and it should be fairly obvious if it's there. I was shocked when the card appeared on the screen and flew into my deck. A little bit of playtesting showed that it works exactly like the normal strikes all characters start with. Yes! We have a working card! The card ID was built in the card's class. We used the testmod.getID function with the card name as the parameter. This gives it a unique name, built using the mod name, rather than just using the name of the card, which could cause conflicts with other mods. This ID is also used by the strings loader to match the card to its strings. With this in mind, I went back to the relic. I immediately saw that the relic I had was getting the ID testmod:/testmod.testRelic. I fixed this by removing the testmod dot from my parameter and added the relic back into the build. Lo and behold, the game now loads. However, when I type relic add test into the console, my relic isn't there. I looked through the log and saw the images still weren't loading, and the relic wasn't being added to the custom pool colorless, as the pool did not exist. I played with the relic's rarity and color for a bit, before realizing that I'm not trying to add the relic to a custom pool, but just to the regular shared relic pool. I changed add relic to custom pool to just add relic, giving relic type.shared as the pool to add it to. Back in the game, I now have a relic. The relic was using the missing texture image, but it was working. I finally figured out that my placeholder relic.png image had gotten corrupted at some point, preventing it from loading. With a fresh image, the texture loaded just fine. Now that we have a working card and a working relic, let's take a closer look at their structure. The attack card has a bunch of final strings to establish the identity of the card and load the card strings. In the constructor, the base damage variable is assigned the desired base damage for the card. This variable is inherent to Mod the Spire's abstract card and exists in every modded card. The use function is pretty minimal. To start, we are adding an action to the Action Manager queue. The back of the queue is considered the bottom here. The action we're giving is a damage action, built using this card's variables. This is all the card's use does. The upgrade is equally as simple. If this card isn't upgraded, we increase the damage dealt and change the name if necessary. Instead of doing this directly, it's done through functions. It would appear that these functions automatically set the abstract card upgraded boolean to true. This gives us a little insight into how the card Searing Blow is programmed under the hood. It probably doesn't check to see if it's been upgraded already and just upgrades it again. Our example card is covered in comments that describe a lot of this information, but little can beat the practical experience of seeing what these actually do through trial and error. The relic is similarly simple, but has a lot more functions. We can see that there is a @BattleStart pre-draw function that triggers at the very start of combat. Here the relic calls Flash, a simple reminder to the player that this effect is active. Below that are the OnEquip and UnEquip functions that increase and decrease the player's total energy, respectively. Finally, there's a function to get the description from the relic strings. I've not been stuck in quarantine, being that I work in an essential industry, but I think I can still do more this month than I did last. My new goals are a skill card and a power card. I'd also like to make an attack that is a little bit more complex or interesting to use, and I might even look into additional relic options. Also, I need to figure out this art thing. Well, that's all for now. What are you guys looking forward to? Are you guys hoping to be able to make your own characters, or do you have a story you want to tell through events? Or do you want to pay tribute to your favorite creature and make a new monster encounter in the game? See you in a month, if not sooner.